Hi, and welcome to Says Who. My guest today is Jason Broad, who is a voiceover actor as well as an on-camera talent who lives in Los Angeles.
Yes.
It's all true. So welcome. Thank you for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
I'm going to ask you a question actors get all the time. It's the way I start all of my interviews, which is, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm single. I love food, going to the theater, live music, and if you have kids, it's not a deal breaker. Oh wait,
Swipe
that's
right.
not this.
Swipe left, swipe right.
That's not this thing, is
No.
it?
I mean, it can be.
No.
One bird, two stones.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'll help I can get here. Yes, I'm an actor. I'm from New York originally, and been out here for quite a while now. God, it's just flying by.
It does, doesn't
And
it?
I feel very lucky to be one of the lucky ones making a living at what I do.
Very nice. So, originally from New York,
Yes.
what made you go, because I hear tell that New York has some acting things there as well. We say, I think I should go all the way across country to pursue this thing that I'm doing.
Yeah, well, it was weird because it was actually the happiest time of my life in New York. And it was just a great time to be in New York at the time. And all of a sudden I realized there's just not enough work there. If you're not doing, it's a pyramid. Mm-hmm. So the pyramid is there, the base being the most amount of work was theater. And then above that were commercials and then some episodic and movies. And if you were lucky to get theater work, if you weren't coming from Juilliard or some other top-notch school, Yale.
Rutgers?
Yeah, and I went to NYU, which is no slouch, but still, it was just difficult. And then if you invert the pyramid, that's the work here in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like it was time to take a shot.
Nice. So you jump in your car, you
flew.
You flew. You gave away all of your possessions?
I did something, because I'd kind of come back and forth a little bit to test the waters. And when I finally made the move, I have a friend in New York, my friend Gary, and he's the kind of guy who's never left New York. He doesn't leave the Rock. There's no reason to go anywhere. And I said, Gary, you got to come to my house and give me a hand. He goes, what are you doing? I said, I'm having a garage sale. I'm just bringing all my stuff down the street and I'm selling it all off. He goes, really? I said, yeah, this is 72nd Street between Columbus and Broadway, which is a major thoroughfare in the city. And I brought all my stuff down there. And I just was selling crap left and right. And then he says, I'm leaving. I go, where are you going? He goes, I'm going home. I'm getting Liz's stuff and I'm throwing it out in the street and selling it all. That's his now wife. And that's what I did. I think I had the first garage sale in New York City history.
Wow.
Yeah.
So it's a sidewalk sale.
Sidewalk sale.
Literal sidewalk sale.
Yeah, it was a sidewalk sale. Everything must go.
So you get to Los Angeles.
Yes.
And first thing you do is?
Like New York, get a job and waiting tables. So I was fortunate that I worked in fine dining, so I was able to get a decent job and kept me afloat until luck.
Until luck.
Yeah.
Happens.
Well, there's no rule on how to get work in this town. If there were, everybody would be doing it. Yeah. But I have a rule of thumb that I live by, and I followed it, and it happened.
That's great. So I know this because, I do great pre-interview interviews.
That's what I've heard.
Which is, you do an extremely large quantity of voiceover.
I do. I do looping, ADR, in film and television. And I've done somewhere up to 600 movies and television shows. So
can you walk me through what a normal looping session might be like?
Yeah, like I have one tomorrow, actually. No two are alike because every movie is different and they ask different things. So we have a thing called the Looper's Book, which is generally, now we use iPads, but it's notes that I've printed up from the internet. And it's basically things like, let's say you're doing a scene in a movie where there's surgery happening. So I have things that doctors would say in surgery.
Okay.
And specifically if it's like a liver transplant, so we'll be specific to that. And then we'll go in and basically, in the movie, there'll be that scene, and we'll improv that scene. So we'll play the doctors and the nurses and everybody that's not, necessarily mic'd.
Right, anybody who doesn't actually have lines but would perceivably be there.
Correct. But we do sometimes do people with lines as well. It depends. Sometimes there's a lesser actor and there's a problem. There's no such thing as a lesser actor. Yeah. But sometimes their mic was not right or their performance wasn't what they wanted or
add an accent.
Whatever, and the director will say, could you try that? And so the casting director is usually in the room, or somebody will say, Jason, I think that's your voice. And you'll get up. And that's where the work is that, that guy had the script and he had time to work on it. And Robert Redford will say, would you try that for me? And you'll get up and you'll have 1, maybe 2 takes to get that performance.
Yeah.
And, knock wood, it's been 20 years of doing that, so
it's worked out for you.
It's worked out.
By the way, he's never actually said a single thing in this. He's just looping it all in.
It's later. We'll get it in post.
It's fine. Get it in post. Isn't that the way we always do it?
Yeah.
So if you had your druthers, I mean, it's a pretty cool way to make a living. Would you want to do more on camera?
Oh, sure. Listen, I mean, everybody wants to be on a television show or whatever. But the key when I first wanted to be an actor was I wanted to be a working actor. And when I was at NYU, we had a few people I went to school with who became movie stars. And they knew back even in college, they were like, you're going to be a movie star.
Right.
So I remember I had a teacher who said to me, he said, you're never going to be a movie star, but you're always going to work. Because people like you and they want to be around you and you're good at what you do and that'll all come in handy. And he was 100% right.
Which is great.
Yeah. So, there are people I know that get a couple of episodics a year and that's great. God bless them. I'm happy that they're on camera, but I'm happy that I make my insurance every year and I'm happy that I'll have a pension and residuals and, it's not a bad career.
It's not a bad career.
And by the way, I might add, it's challenging as hell.
I would think so because you're in an instant you have to be wherever that actor worked
right.
for a very long time to be in order to say whatever the line happens to be.
And it's the ton of improv that goes on plus the lines. A lot of times we have script and we go right off the script and put it in their mouths. And it's tricky and it's challenging and no 2 jobs are alike. I mean, I've done everything from war movies to small television shows to indie movies to you name it. Everyone's a challenge. And the other thing is every time I show up, I'm 100% ready to go.
Because you have to be.
Yeah, but that's just the way I am. And so it's a challenge. Every time I do it, I want to really kill it. So that's just who I am.
The last question is,
all right.
Have you ever looped for someone that you know? Have you ever gone in to do an episodic or a movie or something and been like, oh, hey, Bob?
No, I've not. But I've gotten to loop a scene where I had sex with a very famous actress.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, that was pretty cool. So I'll have that always on my resume.
Done that in post.
I have done that in post. And, we turned the lights down low and cleared the room and it was quite lovely, actually.
Then I had some wine.
And I'm hoping one day I'm going to run into her and just complete the whole thing and say, you and I had a little thing.
You and once. You don't know, but I do.
We had a little thing.
Nice. All right, yeah. Well, we are moving on to the lightning round.
Oh, God, I'm sweating here. I'm sweating the lightning round. Okay, all right, light me up.
Jason, welcome to the lightning round.
Oh, God. All right. No buzzer involved, is there?
It really depends on how you do on this.
Okay.
No, there's no buzzer. If you had one superpower, what would it be?
Invisibility.
When was the last time you cried?
Right before I walked in the room.
What is your favorite genre of music?
Classic rock.
What are you listening to right now?
In my head or in life?
Either way.
Actually, Genesis.
CD, streaming, or vinyl?
CD for convenience, but I love vinyl.
Who is the last person you sent a text to?
A friend for dinner Friday night.
3 people, dead or alive, that you would want to have dinner with?
Yes. John Lennon. Mm-hmm. Jesus, and I'm not Christian just because it's some stuff I'd like to go over with him. And I don't know who the third, Michelangelo maybe.
Nice. Who?
I'd like to know
Yeah.
about the statue of David. Like, what were you thinking?
Why would you do that?
Stop that. You make it look bad for everybody.
Who is your actor crush?
Actor crush. Jimmy Stewart.
If you could have a beer with any actor, who would it be?
I was supposed to say George Bush because he's the guy you're supposed to have beer with, and he was kind of an actor. I would say, I don't know. They're all, yeah, I don't know. I'm taking too long. You see, this is what happens. There's too many people I'd want to have a beer with. Daniel Day-Lewis. All right, I don't know.
What is the best piece of acting advice you've ever been given?
I had a teacher, he was Russian, he was from the Moscow Arts Theater. He said two things. He'd say, rehearsal is my love. So that was one, and he'd also say, rehearsal, listen. So listening.
So two good ones.
Two good ones.
What is the worst piece of acting advice you've ever been given?
Oh, don't do it. Yeah, don't even do it.
What is a piece of acting advice you would give someone just starting out?
Oh, we actually, yeah. Don't stop studying. Keep working, because it's like anything. If you get the opportunity, the muscles have to be warmed up and you have to be ready to go. And they don't want to hear that you're not ready. They want it on the first take. So keep working on your craft.
What does creativity mean to you?
What it means to me is freedom.
What life lesson do you wish everyone could learn?
You have to decide which hill you want to die on.
Describe yourself in a hashtag.
Oh, I don't do hashtags. Hashtag loser, I don't know. I don't hashtag.
What?
There was a time there was hash involved, but there was no tagging involved. There was some tag, but there was another. Anyway.
Whole different thing. We're two separate.
There was hash and there was tag, and then I don't do them together.
What
I don't do hash, by the way.
What are you watching right now?
Oh God, you're gonna hate this. I just got put on the SAG nominating committee for TV. After how many years in SAG? I've never been on a nominating committee. I don't watch television. And now all I'm gonna have to do for the next year is watch television show after television show after television show. I'm dreading it.
What television show are you actually looking forward to seeing?
I don't know. I don't watch. There's only one show that I've loved in the last, well, there's a couple actually, but to me the best show ever was West Wing. And then Mad Men I worked on that for years, so that was a pretty good second.
What is your favorite food?
Sushi.
What is your least favorite food?
Vegetarian.
Do you play an instrument?
Drums, and poorly.
If you could master any instrument other than the drums, what would it be?
Guitar.
Do you have a tattoo?
I can tell you. Oh, I don't have one.
If you got a tattoo, what would it be?
Probably some musical something or other.
To be or not to be?
Right now I'll go with to be.
What is your favorite board game?
Word game?
Board
game?
Yeah.
I don't play them anymore, but I used to love Risk.
What country do you wish to visit?
I would say that I haven't been to. Maybe Amsterdam.
Do you have a hobby?
Nothing avid. Nothing. I mean, I'm very curious, so I do a lot of things.
Is there a skill you'd like to learn?
There's so many things. I don't know. Nothing in particular. Nothing jumps out. And I want to keep this moving.
What did you want to be, or what did you want to do with your life when you were 12?
I knew from a very young age that I could be funny. So I knew that the only thing I wanted to not do was work in an office.
What would you name your autobiography?
Wow, that went quick.
All right, they are doing an adaptation of Wow, That Went Quick,
yes.
The Jason Broad story.
Yes.
Stage or screen?
Stage.
And who would play you?
I don't know. Think Paul Rudd, maybe. I'm trying to think somebody's close.
And finally,
age.
What is the best compliment you've ever received?
You're a nice person.
You are a nice person. You fake it good.
Yeah, it's the bane of my existence.
We are moving on.
Yes! Oh my God, somebody wipe me down. I'm just dying here.
Finally, Jason, we end as we always do with the 10 questions that James Lipton asks at the end of Inside the Actors Studio.
Yes, James, what do you have to say for yourself?
Jason?
Yes.
What is your favorite word?
It's gonna be fuck. Everybody's gonna be fuck. Fuck, fuck, fuck.
What is your least favorite word?
Late.
What turns you on creatively, spiritually, or emotionally?
Music.
What turns you off?
A jackhammer.
What is your favorite curse word?
Oh my God, this is redundant. It's gotta be fuck again.
What sound or noise do you love?
Again, music.
What sound or noise do you hate?
Anything that's distracting.
What profession other than your own would you like to attempt?
Is being a rock star a profession?
Sure.
Okay, I'll do that. That seems like a good gig.
What profession would you not like to do?
Office work.
And finally,
yes,
Jason.
Oh, there's a finally.
If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
Come in, sit down. I'm going to finally explain everything to you.
Well, thank you for explaining some things to us.
Thank you, thank you. I'm going to go hose myself down.
Appreciate you coming in.
My pleasure.